Hello and welcome to my channel, The Grey Haired Writer. If this is your first time here, welcome and thank you for checking me out. And if you're a returning viewer, welcome back and thank you. I appreciate every single one of you. Today I'm going to talk about why you must not have the Mary Sue or Gary Stu characters in your story. For those of you who do not know what that is, well, the Mary Sue or Gary Stu characters are those that are so perfect in every way imaginable. Something like they are exceptionally talented at whatever skill you give them, and that is without any training under expert guidance. This prevents them from growing as a person. You might see this a lot where the main character is a younger person and picks up something for the first time, like maybe they're doing expert maneuvers in an aircraft or spaceship, and they've done this the first time ever flying, and well, you basically know what I mean. Or a character where everybody loves them. If you have a character that everybody loves, then you have no conflict in the story, or in other words, you ain't got no story at all. Flawless appearance. She is the most beautiful woman in the world. Or he is the most handsome man alive. All that is subjective. Not everyone is attracted to the same things. Some people like taller people, some people like shorter people, some people like everything in between. They are emotionally perfect, even with a tragic backstory. If your character witnessed their parents' murders, they would have a trauma reaction to things, most likely. Especially if they never got any therapy. An unrealistic plot armor. Your character always wins, even with no effort against impossible odds. Like they just go, and they win. The world revolves around them. The other characters exist only to support them and have no life outside of the character. And finally, moral perfection. They always make the right choice and never succumb to temptation. Like, that will ever happen. So you see what a Mary Sue or Gary Stu character is. So why you don't want them in your story is 1. No struggles equals boring. Without a character who is always struggling in meaningful ways, it creates a boring story. If you know that the character is always going to win every fight or always gets what she wants, then why bother reading? While in a lot of stories we generally know that the main character prevails, in the end, reader will want to see how the character wins. The cop gets his man, the girl gets the guy, or vice versa. Remember, like I said before, you got no tension, you ain't got no story, and that's it. Number 2, unrelatable. Readers connect with characters who are flawed or seem human, even though they aren't looking at a real human being, making your character perfect in every way. It's hard to create an emotional connection to the character, and the reader will be unable to invest in your story. They might even just put your book down and forget to come back to it later, and until after they die and their family's doing an estate sale, they found they only got a quarter of the way through your book. Could happen. Number 3, weak conflict and tension. It's worth repeating, but conflict drives the story. If your character is always right and never loses anything, then why would the reader not just toss the book across the room? Or put it down and forget about it until they've had something like 10 beers. Or maybe more along the line. Not that I'm promoting alcohol drinking, but just that point. You want your conflict to resolve throughout the whole, however many pages you have in your book. That way people will keep coming back for more reading of the current book, and keep reading your future books. So, make your character earn every win. Have them scratch and claw their way to everything. I have a video on how to put your characters through hell. The link for that is in the description. Coffee break. Number 4, flattens your characters. I don't mean that literally as in they get run over by a steamroller on a construction site, or they're walking around minding their own business and they get run over by a tank or anything like that. but it will reduce any of your supporting characters to nothing more than props to be outshined whatever by your character. For your side characters, you want them to be developed people. The level of development that you give them will depend on the role in the story. If someone is going to have a small role, as you see them only once, as they're jogging down the street and that's the only time you see them, you don't have to go too deep. But if they're going to be an ally of your main character, then you want them fleshed out. And a great resource for that is Sacha Black's 8 Steps to Side Characters, which link for that will be in the description. Number 5. It creates a predictable and uninteresting story. Your reader will want twists and setbacks. Remember, put your characters through hell. A Mary Sue or Gary Stu character will never go through anything like that. That's because they're always winning and never falter or anything like that. What happens to a real person? Readers might feel manipulated. That's number 6. If the character is always loved by everyone and they win every game without earning the prize, like they could just about snap their fingers and everything goes their way, you are forcing the reader to admire the character without allowing the reader to make up their own minds about them. Coffee break again. Number 7. You give them no room for growth. Compelling characters, the ones readers root for, have an arc where they grow and improve their skills, make mistakes, oh I just got that, and learn. But a character who's already perfect in every way under the sun has a flat character arc. They stay pretty much the same the whole story. And you don't want that. Number 8. It creates an unbalanced world. If the character is impossibly talented, lucky, or sexy, the world will be bending to accommodate them. In other words, the setting or world you're building will seem unrealistic. While a fantasy story where you have fire-breathing dragons and wizards shooting lightning bolts out of their fingers, realistic might be a bit of a stretch. But the point is, if the character gets hit with a lightning bolt, zap, it should hurt. They shouldn't be able to just brush it off like they're flicking dandruff flakes off their shoulders. Number 9, it reduces reader investment. If it looks like nothing bad will ever happen to the character, like every time they spin the roulette wheel, they hit the jackpot, or they go undefeated in every race throughout the season, then the outcome will seem inevitable and your book gets donated to school fundraising sales before they get even 10 or 20 pages through it. And then some of the people buy that might not buy that either. And number 10, finally, it seems amateurish. Readers, critics, and editors will likely see all the perfect characters as amateur writing and storytelling. Almost like you're inserting a wish fulfillment in the character, in the story. Like your dream girl or guy who you want to, well, you know what I mean. Don't you? Of course you do. So what to do instead? Give your characters flaws that will impact the story and make them have to overcome it or fail. Have them grow from their mistakes and learn from them too. Give the other characters agency so they're not just doormats for the main character, and make the main character's success be earned and not automatic. So there you have it. I hope this helps you with your writing and you enjoyed the video. If there's anything you'd like me to do a video on in the future, leave a comment in the video, and if you like, check out my video on how to put your characters through hell. It should be coming up right about now. But for now, let's do the old annual roll up the rim to see if I won, shall we? Yes. Play again. Well, oh well. Until next time, make it a great day and week. So long, my friends. Goodbye.